Okay, Michele, tell us where we are and let's get into what happens here.
We are here actually at the headquarter of Madeira. This is in Freiburg, South Germany, and this is where we produce all our threads.
Okay, and tell us, how long have you been here and what's your role?
My role is to take care of the global marketing and sales of our thread. I'm here since almost 30 years.
So we'll start off with a funny question. I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but how many spools of thread do you think have been wound in the lifetime of you being at this company?
This is not possible. Millions, hundreds of millions of spools, of course.
I would love to talk just about what happens here. What happens here in this location?
In this location, okay, all the production starts with our raw twist. So we buy a raw twist from all over the world. We dye the thread here in Freiburg. We wind it to our spools and our cones. We have our warehouse, and then we sell it to 60 countries all over the world.
Now, this is what we're here for. We want to hear about the Madeira story.
The Madeira story started in 1919. This is the year when Madeira was founded by the grandfather of the actual owners of Madeira. He started as a cotton sewing thread manufacturer. Then in the 50s he had the idea to come out with the first rayon machine embroidery thread, and this is when actually Madeira started to grow, and today Madeira is the number one, the leading company for machine embroidery thread for the industry.
Wow, and so can you give us an idea of the quantity of thread that's produced here each week?
So we have the ability to dye 3 tons a day, and the average that we are stocking here in Freiburg is a few hundred tons of thread.
Wow, okay. And you're not just making that for Freiburg in this local area. Where does the thread go?
Well, the thread goes in more than 60 countries all over the world. We have daughter companies in Europe, in the States, and in Asia.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is Madeira known for?
Madeira is known for the variety of different threads. Mostly it's the machine embroidery thread. When it comes on machine embroidery, everybody thinks of Madeira.
Yeah. And we're really excited about the products that you offer for the quilting, sewing, and crafting world. So can you tell us about some of those?
Well, we have, I don't know how many different threads, especially for quilting. The newest actually is called Sensor Green. That's our newest invention, made of 100% biodegradable lyocell.
And can you tell us, when people are looking at the social media, they're seeing Madeira Garn. Can you tell us what garn means?
Garne means thread in German. Garne is the German word for thread.
Yeah, so that's the retail side of things.
That's the retail side. We have another side which is the industry side, and the company is called Madeira Garn Fabric.
Yeah, and we know that Madeira is known for its embroidery around the world, but why is the quilting, sewing, and crafting sector important to Madeira?
Well, we see a lot of potential in the quilting market because we think we have exactly the right thread for this market. We are sure the quilters will love our different threads. We have so many colors, so many twists like frosted mud and center green, a lot of metallics, a lot of cotton threads, polyester threads, and rayon threads.
Yeah. So you gave us a wonderful tour of the entire facility today. Can you give us a little bit of a walkthrough of what we saw today?
Yeah, Brandy. So you remember the first room that we entered was the quality check department, which is a very important step in the thread production because first this quality department checks the quality of the thread, of the raw twist. After when everything is okay, the thread goes to the dyeing, where there we put the color on the thread. We have more than 400 different colors. After the dyeing, the thread has to be dried. After that, the quality department checks if we hit the right color, if the tension is still okay. And after that, we went to the winding department where we do the different makeups. And after that, the final checking is done again from the quality department. Then it goes to the warehouse where we then send the thread in all the different countries.
Yeah, so quality is a huge deal.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the beginning there. When we were walking through, we saw the thread coming out of the dye, and then it went into this cylindrical thing. So what was that?
Yeah, this is the first step to take out the water of the dyed thread. This centrifuge takes out about 80% of the water, and after that the thread actually goes to the final drying.
Yeah, and we saw where it was actually wound onto the finished product as well. So tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, actually the interesting thing is that the winding department not just puts the thread on the right spool. During the winding we put a liquid on the thread that you need to have to work the thread through the machine needle. The liquid is called lubrication, and it's a kind of paraffin mixture.
And this is what allows it to flow smoothly through the machine, or when you're hand stitching, it's smooth and it works really well. Can you tell us a little bit about the testing process where they snap the threads? That was really cool to see.
Yeah, that's actually, it's a machine that's called Statimat. The Statimat pulls the thread until it breaks, and it takes the average of 200 times pulling, and then we know the tension of a thread.
And you just know that it's the right quality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what has to be mentioned is the machine is in a special room, because in a climate room, because humidity and temperature affects the thread tension.
So what do you think that quilters will be excited about in the Madeira range of threads? Let's start with Sensagreen.
Yeah, I mean, quilters know, of course, cotton threads. What's new for them, it's actually Sensagreen, and I really propose to use this thread and test Sensagreen, because just the look of the thread is fantastic. And what even might be more interesting is the story behind the thread. Sensagreen requires much less water. Many people think that cotton thread is sustainable thread, because cotton, of course, is a natural fiber, but you have to consider that cultivating cotton requires a lot of water. Yeah. You are using pesticides, and it requires huge acres of land. Compared to lyocell, lyocell is made out of wood, and so it requires much less water, much less acres, or much less land. Yeah. And we do not use any pesticides.
Yeah, so it's a truly sustainable product. What makes Madeira metallics stand out from the rest?
Well, we have a great experience with our metallics. We are producing our metallics ourselves. We have an own twisting department factory, and the big difference is, again, the many different metallic threads what we have, the different weights and the different colors.
And so for those quilters who are just die-hard and really still want to use cotton, Madeira has this wonderful range of Katona threads in all different weights and wonderful colors. But can you tell us a little bit about the thread that's polyester that we're using for long arm?
Yeah, we believe that quilters also need some polyester thread if you think on long arm machines. Yeah. So we have this product called AeroQuilt, which is a strong resistant polyester thread. And we have another thread, polyester thread, that's called Aerofil, that you also need for quilting.
So Michele, thank you so much for this wonderful tour. We have learned so much today about Madeira threads, and I've been trying every single thread that I have in my stash now, and I've enjoyed every single one of them. So I really encourage quilters listening right now, and crafters and sewers and makers, to really give this thread a try. Thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you, Brandy, and thank you for coming to Freiburg.